last winter when I went on my trip to Costa Rica and then ended up in Nicaragua, I met so many people and I met different ages from all over the world, just such a wide variety of people. And I love meeting people. I love meeting people. I love hearing about their stories. I love learning new things and being open to all possibilities. And when I was in San Juan del Sur in Nicaragua, that was my first stop in Nicaragua. I stayed at the cutest little I'm gonna say Airbnb, but there was only 4 rooms, and it was really narrow and small, and there was just a little outdoor kitchen and a little sitting area that just reminded me of Europe so much. And so you would meet the other people that were staying there because you're cooking together and just maybe sitting in that area together. And there was a very young German girl there. I'm guessing maybe 2021. I can't remember how old she was. And she was very quiet. She kept to herself. Actually, now that I think about it, there was another Canadian woman there and she kept to herself. She lived in the very back. She would go there all the time. And she owned some sort of company and then would go to San Juan del Sur and surf in the winter. And she kept to herself too. She was more around my age, maybe 10 years, 15 years younger than me, but I got to know her as well just by being kind, like just smiling, saying hi, asking, I took a picture of her when she got on her motorcycle with her surfboard hanging off the side because she looked so cool. I'm like, I have to take a picture of you. And I sent her the picture, and that kind of broke the ice because she was a little bit standoffish, like, nah, I'm just here to do my thing and I don't really want to make friends. But anyway, this German girl, she was taking Spanish lessons, but when anybody was in there, she wouldn't really have a conversation. She was very shy. I just took it to mean that she was shy, not that there was something wrong with me and she didn't want to talk to me. And she would sit there and smoke and then go to her Spanish lesson. And I just started chatting her up and invited her to go out with me. I was just going out for a drink because I had heard that this was a good place to go to. And so I'm like, what are you doing? Let's go together. And she said, sure, yeah, that sounds great. So I think she was just very shy. And of course, there's the language barrier. She speaks German, but she also speaks English, and she's learning Spanish. So she's a smart girl. She's learning all of these languages. Anyway, we went out for a drink, and we were outside, just, I don't know what we were doing. And we met up with this girl from Canada, and she was a young girl as well. And she was with her friends, and they were drunk, having a good time. And so we started chatting up this girl from Canada, and then her 2 guy friends came over. And the first thing the guy friend said was, oh, is this a mother-daughter trip? And I was instantly horrified. Like, what is this guy saying? And then when I thought about it for a second, I'm like, damn, I have a 21-year-old son. I am old enough to be this girl's mother, but I was never thinking about it like that, because I feel like as humans, there's always an age where we always will think of ourselves as. And for me, it's like 23. So I'm thinking I'm the same age as this girl. Like I'm relating and associating as the young version of me. And that's the way I usually do see myself, is like early 20s. And so when this guy said this, it kind of shocked my system, because I wasn't aware that this is how I was seeing myself in this situation. And it was shocking at first. And then it was like, oh, I guess that is the case here. This could be a mother-daughter situation. But we went out. I recovered from that, and we went out and had a lovely time. But it was just situations like that really bring me back into the moment, or the awareness of how quickly time passes. Because we're living it every day, we don't realize it. It's a slow progression. And then all of a sudden, boom, we're midlife, and here we are. And this is what I was thinking about when I was preparing for this podcast, because when I was traveling, I just would talk to anybody. I'd hang out with anybody. It didn't matter to me what their age was. It was, I think, maybe one time during my travels where I felt like I didn't fit in just because of the way that people were talking and acting. And, it was just really awkward and uncomfortable. And that was the only time for 3 whole months where I'm like, yeah, damn, I don't really fit in here. So that's pretty good. And I feel like that's a mindset. But the reason that this has come up for me is I was looking on Netflix for a show to watch. And there's a new one with Ted Danson. And I started watching it and I was thinking, holy cow, because in this show, Ted Danson is old. He's like a grandpa, and his wife had died, and so he's lonely, and his daughter is worried about him, and so he goes undercover into a senior's home for a PI to find out who's stealing something. So he's old enough to be a resident of this senior citizens home. And when I was watching this, I was just thinking, like, it hit me just like in Nicaragua, like the mother-daughter thing, is that I remember him from Cheers, this show Cheers, where he was young and he was in his prime and all the things. And now he's in a senior citizen's home. And this made me look up his age and see that he's 70 years old. And I'm like, holy cow, he's 70 years old. He's 15 years older than I am. And now he's old enough to go in a senior's home. Now you wouldn't know he's 70. Like, he's fully functioning and, he's really got it going on. But the thing is, when he was in this home, there was a whole bunch of other actors and actresses from back in the day, and they looked really old. Like, they were also people in the senior citizens home, and they looked really old. And I'm like, this is what's coming for all of us. I had just had this moment where I'm thinking, wow, 15 years is not long. And then I was talking to one of my boys about this. I'm like, 15 years, like, this guy is 70 and he's in a senior's home, and that's not far off. That is like really, really close for me. Now I'm thinking about me aging. And he stopped and thought about it for a second. He's like, Ma, no, like that's almost how long I've been alive. And does that feel like that went quickly? And I'm like, ooh, damn, good point. Like, that did not feel like it. Well, it didn't. Holy cow. Now that I think about it, it took a long time, but it also is over in the blink of an eye, because now they're grown up and they're living their own lives. So, it does go by fast. Sometimes when you're in it, it could feel like forever. And then all of a sudden, like, there's a moment where you can't catch a breath. You can't go to the bathroom by yourself. You just have people dripping off of you all the time. And you're like, I just need a break. And then your kids get older and they don't need you anymore like that. And so now you're kind of like, hey, remember me? How's it going? What you doing? What's going on? Now you're the one that becomes the clinger. But this whole experience just has made me think about, I don't even know what it's made me think. It's made me think about where I am in my life and how midlife, I feel like this is like prime party time. And I don't mean party in a sense of go and get drunk and that. I mean party time and like, do the things you want to do, celebrate everything, learn new things, figure out who you are and what you want to do, and try everything new and reinvent yourself. This is the part that really excites me, is I'm always learning and growing, and I'm always training with new people. And if it's one thing that I've learned over the past, I'd say, year of the coaches and the mentors that I've worked with, is that all of this is made up. As my New York coach likes to say, all this shit is made up. Everything. And which means that we can make up whatever we want. Which means we can create the life that we want, any kind of life that we want. I was talking to one of my boys the other day, and we were just, I love it. My boys are so different. One is just like, you got to kind of stealthily, in a way that works for him, pry information out of him. And then the other one says things like, hey, do you have any questions? Do you have anything you want to ask me? And I'm like, oh my God, this is so fun. And so we get to ask any question. And then, of course, he throws it back in my face. Not throws it back. He'll ask me the same question. But I get to ask him questions like this about how he's doing and what his life is all about and what he's most excited of and what he's most proud of and all the things. And I can't actually remember in this moment why I was telling this, because he had a really good question for me, or I had a really good question for him. And now I can't remember what it is. I can't remember where I was going. And that's part of it. That's midlife all around. But the good thing was that I could just ask this guy anything and he'll share with me, and it turns into a conversation, and I just learn more and more about him. Oh, this is what the question was. I was like, what are you most proud of in your life so far that you've done or created or whatever, been a part of? And when he turned it back on me, I thought about it like, that's a really good question. And what came up for me was how that I have been able my whole entire life, I've been able or open to and have the belief that I can create anything that I want. I am anything but normal. I do anything except follow the rules. I create what I have these things that happen in my brain, and then I create it. I make it happen no matter what, out of nothing, just because I know that if it's in my brain, that it's possible for me. If I can think it, I can create it. And so when he asked me this question back on me, I'm like, I really believe that it's like, besides, the question was, what are you most proud of? And that besides your family and your kids and like, the obvious ones. And so it really made me think back, go deep, question myself. And it just came up with having the thoughts that anything is possible. Because I've worked in the film industry, doing a job that women don't usually do. I created my own business so I could take my kids to work with me. Now I have another business where I can travel the world, and all my businesses that I create with my fitness and my healing and my coaching, it's all based on helping people. That's my mission in life, but I get to do it on my terms. I get to create something that works for me where I am in this point in my life. And what I've got going on right now is being able to travel the world while I work, because everything is online. And what I'm creating next is retreats so that I can help other people, other midlife women, live their dreams by traveling by themselves, while learning how to reinvent themselves in a place that's really safe and exciting and mind-blowing and something that they would never have been able to do otherwise. So this really excites me, because as I create this for myself, I get to explore it and investigate it and then put it together. So the way it works with coaching, no matter what kind of coaching I'm doing, whether it's like subconscious mindset, nutrition, it doesn't even matter. The philosophy is always, I go first. I go first. So if I'm coaching somebody and we're doing some hypnosis or trance work, I go first. I get into that state. If I'm trying to encourage somebody to imagine something, I go first. If I want to have a super healthy body, if I want to teach other people how to have a super healthy body, I go first. So I create that for myself. And then I share that, what I did, what I learned, what I know to be true, with others so that they can experience the same thing. This is why it's so powerful. And this is why it just lights me up, is because I'm basically living my life and creating the best version of myself always, and then sharing it with those who are also interested. That's my key. When I work with people, I'm not just looking for people. I'm looking for the people that know they're meant for more. I'm looking for the people that know they got to do the work. And I'm looking for the people that know that It's all inside of them. It's an inside job. And I'm just going to give them the tools. And so the people that have the biggest success are the ones that are like, yes, I know it's up to me to do it. Just give me the science or the tools behind it, and I'm going to do that. And the people that follow and do the work are always successful, always. And it's the people that don't do the work. They slide back into what they've always done. And that's the trick. Like, that's the vortex that you're supposed to be in. Like, there's this vortex that has been created in life where it's like, just do this, stay in here, don't look anywhere else, don't do anything else. And it's the people that get out of that vortex and be like, okay, now what? What else is possible? Those are the people that I'm looking for. Because you can't, no matter what you're trying to do in life, you can't just learn something and then think that because I know this, things are going to change. Nuh-uh, sister. You get to do the work. And the work just means showing up for yourself. That's what it means. You're going to show up for yourself every single time that you need to change something, or you need to become a different person, or you want to create something different for yourself. It's always about showing up for yourself. And then you're like, you have all of these tools. And I teach my clients a ton of tools because everybody's different. And so something that works for somebody might not work for somebody else. And then this is not just something that you're doing and stopping. This is your new life habit. This is how you show up all the time and create this for yourself, because it's something that you do consistently every single day that will get you to the result that you're looking for. Consistency is the key. No matter what you're trying to achieve, consistency is the key. One little thing every single day, huge results down the road. That's what we're going for. So we're changing our beliefs. We're changing our lifestyles. These aren't diets. These aren't tricks. It's not magic. It's like, this is us doing the work. And whenever somebody comes in saying, yes, I am committed to following this and changing my life and becoming a new person, creating a new version of myself, it's that vision that you have of you, your most fabulous self, your most enlightened self, your most self-actualized version of you. That's what your star is that you're following. That's your goal. That's your end goal. And that's always a work in progress. And all you have to do is access that version of you to find out how to get there, because that version of you has already done it. So you already know the answers. And it's believing in yourself and then showing up every single day. All the things that I've created didn't happen by me doing a one and done. It's like I have failed and landed on my face so many times, but the reason that I am successful is because I keep taking that as a learning experience. I take it as feedback. Everything is just feedback. Okay, so this didn't work. How do I tweak it? And what if I tried this? And I just keep going until it succeeds. And then I go with that, and then I try something different. So the difference between somebody who's succeeding and somebody who isn't is that person is just curious. That person is taking feedback and trying new things and knowing that they could never fail unless they give up. That's the only way that you can fail. So, girlfriends, I just wanted to share this after seeing Ted Danson. I just had this moment where it's like, oh my gosh, Ted Danson is 70 years old. He's in a senior's home. I better get cracking. Like, I really feel like midlife is where we really, because of all of our life experience, we can really live our best life, being our true authentic self, and create anything we want when we believe in ourselves and we put that at the top of the list. Making yourself happy, top of the list. Because remember, if you are self-actualized and living your best life, everybody around you benefits. So it is the least selfish thing that you can do. Today's mission is just to inspire you into greatness, into the best version of yourself, because the clock is ticking. We absolutely can't buy more time. It just doesn't work like that. So we want to make time our friend time is on our side and we want to make the most of our time when we're in this, before we, turn into the Ted Danson in the senior citizen home or whatever that looks like for us. I know for me, I'm just getting started, and this is going to be the most exciting time of my life because of all the experiences that I have lined up. I have big ideas, and I'm going to go make them all come true by trying and trial and error. I'm going to fail forward, and I want to take you with me. So if you feel like you're in midlife and you know you're meant for more, then come and join my Mastering Midlife membership. I'm telling you, this is where you have a group of people that believe in your dreams and that will support you, and you get all the tools to make those dreams come true. And if you get stuck, which you will, and if you fail, which you will, you have people there to catch you and to lift you up and to dust you off and to help you figure out what went wrong and how you can use that to propel yourself forward into greatness. So if you want to master midlife, then come and join the party. Thank you for listening. Always, always, always love yourself first and have an amazing day.